Water is life, but the way we grow food is threatening it. Agriculture accounts for 70% of global freshwater use, and it's one of the biggest polluters of water systems. Yet food systems, if designed properly, can actually restore water cycles and protect this most essential resource. Industrial farming is draining water resources in more ways than one. Let's take irrigation for a second. Globally, agriculture uses an estimated 2,700 liters of water per person per day to grow the food that we eat. We need to drink, just to give context, we need to drink 2 liters of water per person. Agriculture uses 2,700 liters of water per person to grow food for that person. That's enough to fill a standard swimming pool every week for a family of four. Then there's pollution. Think of it like a tsunami hitting a city. If the city is filled with skyscrapers, those buildings break the force of the water, slowing it down and dissipating its energy. But if the city is empty with no structures to stop it, the tsunami just keeps rolling and destroying everything in its path. Now let's apply this to soil and the pollution of the soil. Healthy, rich soil, teeming with microbes, acts like those skyscrapers through its structure. It slows water, retains it, and prevents it from going any further. But the prolific use of synthetic fertilizers used year after year kill the very microbes that build and maintain that soil structure. Over time, soil becomes like that empty city, unable to hold water, letting the fertilizers flow unchecked into our rivers and oceans. The result? Polluted waterways, where 50% of all the applied synthetic fertilizers don't even get used by the plants. They end up flowing into our water and create dead zones where life cannot survive, meaning the microbial life cannot survive and the insect life cannot survive. And then there's deforestation. Every year, millions of acres of forests are cleared for agriculture, disrupting water cycles. For example, the Amazon rainforest, known as the lungs of the planet, also act as a massive water pump, generating rain for the surrounding regions and beyond. Its loss impacts global water systems. These aren't abstract numbers. They affect us directly. Contaminated water from agricultural runoff now threatens drinking water for millions of people globally. Regenerative farming is a game changer, and here's why. Healthy soil can retain up to 20,000 gallons of water per acre. 20,000 gallons. This means less runoff, better absorption, and a natural defense against droughts and floods. Avoiding synthetic chemicals prevents water contamination. Compare that to industrial farming, where pesticide runoff affects nearly 40% of our pristine rivers and streams in the United States alone. Regenerative farms can sequester carbon, which also improves soil structure, helping it absorb water better and reducing erosion. In simple terms, regenerative farming doesn't just stop the damage, it starts healing water systems. It turns farmland into a water reservoir instead of a drain, a dirty drain at that. Now let's bring this closer to home. Cities already face water challenges, and food systems are a big part of the problem. Urban farming, when done right, can change this. For instance, let's take rooftop gardens and urban farms. These can capture rainwater and reduce urban runoff, which contributes to flooding. There's no reason why most buildings, if not every building, can be outfitted with a water catchment system. Let me just think about that for a second. Locally grown food reduces the need for long supply chains, cutting the water waste associated with transporting food hundreds of miles away. And regenerative practices can purify water instead of polluting it. Here's a stat that should make you think. Urban areas lose an average of 40% of rainfall to runoff, which could otherwise be used and captured and used, moreover, to grow food. Imagine if every city farm became part of the solution, not just for food, but also for water too. Change starts with us. Here's what you can do. Support farms that use regenerative methods. They're conserving water while growing food. Reduce food waste. Remember, every wasted piece of produce represents thousands of liters of water. Advocate for urban farming in your community. These farms don't just provide food, they help cities manage water better also. Here's another stat. The United Nations estimates that by 2050, over 2.5 billion people will face water shortages. The food system we choose today will decide how we handle that crisis tomorrow. In closing, water and food are inseparable. Fixing how we grow food isn't just about feeding people, it's about protecting the water that keeps us alive. As we rethink food systems, I'll keep sharing ways we can make change together. Imagine cities that grow food sustainably, organically, that protect water systems and create healthier futures for all of us. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you see food and water systems connecting? Let's talk about it.